Station 898. Deleted portion. Now, this is not dictation. In dreams, you can recognize yourself even though the usual space and time references may be quite different than the ones with which you are familiar in the waking state. You might find yourself in a completely different body, or in a different time, or of course, in a different perspective of relationships. But you are your own reference point. That sense of identity follows you in any and all realities. All particles will try to combine with each other in as many different probable ways as possible. You can call that a scientific law if you prefer. The same applies to all psychological particles, to units of consciousness, and to their affiliations within personality. If you were your father's son, you were somewhere your father's daughter, and it was at that point of reference that you encountered the dream situation. Your father's sentence, the paperback reference, was one he actually made in his own mind, in the life that you actually knew him in, and he considered that sons rather than daughters represented his one physical triumph. That is, he believed sons preferable, and they alone compensated for a working man's life, a life he felt did not befit him. A daughter, however, would have given him a beneficial relationship, someone with whom he could discuss such feelings as he did with you in the dream. With sons, he felt that he should not show emotions of defeat, and he felt that communication itself had the feminine overtones of an unfortunate nature. The dream was simply a small scenario. Such probable occurrence right beneath all relationships. If your father did have daughters rather than sons in the life that you know, he actually would have fared better in the physical world, because he would have felt it his duty to protect them financially. He would have considered them fairly helpless and in need of his abilities. As his sons grew out of boyhood, he felt that they dwarfed him. He was in a fashion frightened of the ideas of masculinity he grew up with, ideas he felt he did not embody, and he projected those upon his sons so that in a fashion they overawed him, or put him to shame. Each son became the man he could not be. In the dream, however, you are a woman to whom he is able to express his feelings, and he therefore shows a side of himself to you with the paperback image. Now you are coming along again. The instance you mentioned about the bare ground became a learning experience, because you are beginning to understand the processes involved. Gradually, you can change events that once led to negative behavior, so that they then stand for small graduation exercises, and you are in the process of doing so. Do you have questions? Ra said just one about the dream. In it, my father and I were about the same age. They said I referred to that, I thought, in my preliminary statement about time references, that you recognize yourself in a dream even if the other references do not agree with non-reality. There is no contradiction in a dream if you and your father are approximately the same age, for example. From my understanding of it, there was no other significance to the age orientation, except that the two of you were adults, and thus would have had a long shared background behind you. Ra said, okay. They said, end of session. Ra said, thank you, Seth. They said, and a fun good evening. Ralph said, thank you, the same to you.